Okay, hello everyone. Thank you for coming. My name is Valerie and I'm a product marketing manager at JetBrains. So how many of you know JetBrains? Oh, okay. And okay, how many of you actually use our products? Okay, that's great. So the introduction is going to be really fast. So we are JetBrains, and we create tools for developers and development teams. We've got IDEs for various technologies. We've got team tools like KeyTrack, TeamCity, AppSource, and we've got Kotlin. That's our language. That's a general language. But last year, it was announced as an official language for Android development by Google, so it's pretty popular in this direction right now. But we are not going to be talking about our products today. We are going to be talking about how we create them and what we believe makes us an agile company and what creates our mindset in a natural way. So how we work. We are about 800 people right now, and we are 18 years old. So yeah, we are pretty big. We still have flat structure, and what does it mean? We've got CEO and the very, very top management, which is about like 5 people. Then we have team leads, and we have product teams. That's it. And every product team includes everyone that we need in order to create our products. So it's developers, QA testers, technical writers, support engineers, marketing, and that's just the product team. We've got one team lead and then CEO. That's it. In most of the teams, we don't have product managers. So this role is just shared across the team, and everyone is involved in product management, of course, to varying degree. Most our products were born to relieve our own pain. But by our own pain, I mean the pain of the software developers community. Because we are developers, we create tools for developers, and we understand what's going on inside this community, which problems do we face, and we believe that by creating a new product, we may relieve not only our pain, but the pain of the whole industry. And normally, it works for us. And also, we believe that we are an agile company, but our this agile mindset is not introduced to us. It just comes naturally, just by the way we are. And now I'm going to try to explain this. So let's look at the Agile Manifesto, the very beginning. It says, build products around motivated individuals. Give them environment to support they need. And trust them to get their job done. So we see that it's all about motivated individuals and environment around them. And we believe that the development of personal qualities increases the effectiveness of the whole team. That's how we work, and that's what we believe in. So let's look at the common mindset that's shared across all our teams. What do we have in common? The first thing is professionalism. Professionalism of every member of our team is the quality that gives us the self-assurance about things that we want to do. We are willing to make decisions, and we are willing to take responsibility for them. So normally, we don't want to just get the predefined tasks done or create some predefined feature for us that someone has just invented. We want to create it ourselves. Self-management is the crucial part for us because with such flexible and informal processes, simply we don't have managers in the common understanding of this world. So no one is giving us tasks and no one is checking whether it's done or not. We don't have any time tracking, we don't have time reports. And in this case, self-management is just crucial for us because every member of the team is responsible for their set of tasks and for completing them and for prioritizing them. So that's important for us. Creativity is a big thing, and it's important on every single stage of the development. It comes from the idea of creating a new product, and then it goes down from creating new feature, inventing it, and then even on the level of the implementation, we believe that creativity is really important to find the best way to implement it. because we don't have any internal documentation, like technical requirements or something. So we just agree on something, a new feature that we want to create. And then normally it's up to the team, up to the developers to decide like which way is the best one to implement this functionality. So creativity is crucial on every step. Involvement is something that makes us love our products, love our users, share the empathy. Because, okay, we are developers, so we relieve our own pain, and we are trying to relieve the pain of other people that are doing the same job as well. And we love what we're doing. So involvement is just a part of who we are and what we do like every day. Shared vision, again, it's the crucial thing for us with this informal process. It's really important to keep track of the global vision, of the global goals, of the product and of the company, and to make sure that at every moment we are on the same page. Because otherwise it may appear that every member of the team just does something that they think is important or they like, which is not going to get us to to the complete product or to the complete release or to the complete feature. So shared vision is something that we try to build and keep and develop through the whole process of our development. And trust is crucial. It's like a two-way street. From one side, it is important for the management and the team, relationship. So mostly it's between the team lead and the team. Because from the team lead point of view, they need to lose control and to give the team freedom to actually develop and create the product and to rely on their decisions. And it's pretty hard. I mean, at least that's what our team leads say. To lose control is pretty hard. And from the other side, from the team point of view, it's important to trust each other, to trust the professionalism of the colleagues, to realize and to be sure that, okay, this is your part and you are professional, and I believe and I trust you that you are going to find the best solution, whether it's marketing or it's testing or it's development or even support. So we do trust each other and we try to keep it as a company and as a team, of course. So these were the things that we think are important for every single team at JetBrains. And now I want to talk a little bit about how we actually work, how different teams create their products. Because in JetBrains, every product is like a separate world. It's like a separate ecosystems. They choose their own processes, the way they work, whom they need to accomplish their goals, and so they are completely independent. And let's talk about Rider team. I've chosen this team because that's a pretty new product. That's our cross-platform.NET IDE. It's been introduced about 2 years ago, and that's the mixture of IntelliJ IDEA platform and ReSharper. So these guys, they are really young, enthusiastic, and have a lot of creativity, and their product is new. So they have a lot of space for their input there. They don't have the, legacy code to support. They're still, so passionate about what they're doing. So how they actually work? The product manager role in Rider, how it is shared. Well, first of all, the team lead there is just a mediator. He believes that his goal is to share the product vision between every single member of the team and to make sure that they are all on the same page and they have all understand their goals in the same way. Then we have subsystem owners. Subsystem owners are the people that are responsible for the part of the product. So they know what's going on just inside their functionality in all the details, and so they have a product vision inside this part. They know what they need to fix, what they need to polish and maintain, and of course what they are lacking and what they want to introduce. And of course each team member to varying degree. How do you do release planning? About 2 years ago, our IDEs switched to the model of 3 major releases per year. Before that, we just did 1 major release. So for the whole year, we were working and creating new features, and then we just released. And only after that, we got into external feedback. So we decided to make the cycle shorter. And right now, they do release plannings like before every release, which is like once in 3-4 months. So how it's, how it's happening? The team lead just formulates the very, very raw plan in his head. He said that he's just like walking and thinking, and then he just come up with the main things that he thinks important to introduce in this specific version. Then he goes and communicates with subsystem owners and every single member of the team, and to find out like what they think is important, what they want to do. And during this phase, they have discussions, they just communicate, and finally they get some shared plan for the next release. So yeah, this way they have a direction that they want to move to and a role plan. They say that they tried to plan everything several times, like say we want to do just this feature. So we agreed on this set, we fixed it, and that's it. But afterwards, it just didn't work because they keep adding new features, new small ideas as they work, and they just develop a new feature, I don't know, in 2 days, and they just introduce it, and that's it. So finally, they decided that, okay, that's okay. We want to keep track of the main things, and we can introduce something else. How they form their backlog. Of course, we have our own ideas and the ideas from other products. Because yeah, we do communicate, we are separated, but still we see each other and we know like what's going on. So we get ideas from there. We get ideas from conferences as well, because for us, it's a great chance to meet our customers, to talk to them like directly. And we do send a lot of developers to the conference booths. So they just work there, and the main goal behind that is just the communication and feedback, of course. We do meetings with clients, and that's important for getting like fresh ideas and to be sure that we relieve their pain as well. And they do some special things because, for example, Rider team, one of their goals is to support Unity community. And we don't do game development, so we personally don't have a lot of experience with that. So what we're trying to do, we're trying to get as close as possible to this community and get their experience and their ideas and their pain and try to relieve it. So we did a hackathon together with them, and that was a good experience for us, and we found some new ideas from there. We have a public Slack channel, and we can exchange ideas there as well. And of course, yeah, we do a lot of user group meetings. Feedback is important for us at every stage. It's even like the feedback-driven development kind of thing. Because before the feature prototypes gets to the actual build, it's always demonstrated to the team. So this way, the first impression, and we get internal feedback from the team members. Sometimes developing a feature requires like a lot of time. It can be months or even 2. And in this way, during the whole way that team leads communicate with the developer and yeah, trying to make sure that everything is going on well and there are no problems there, and we are just like, we do what we agreed on. And that's the way to get the feedback as well. And external feedback is, of course, crucial for us. And what we do here, we release, like before every major release, we open the EAP program. That's the early access program. And this way we share the builds with the very, very fresh functionality that has not been released, of course, and just waiting for the release. And our external customers use these builds like a lot. And we're getting huge part of feedback from this early access program. Actually, it's been used for all of our IDEs and through the whole 18 years. So we started it from the first version of IntelliJ IDEA. And it works really well for us. So that was how Rider team works. And the next team I want to talk about is UTrack team. a rider was the IDE, and that's the personal product. And here you track as a team tool, so it's a little bit different in terms of product management and in terms of like how we work and where we get the ideas. So I wanted to share this case. UTrack is an issue tracker and agile project management tool. So our goal is to support every single process that we have at JetBrains. So everyone, like all the development teams and accounting and legal teams and business trips managers, they all use UTrack. So we need to, support like all of them and to be flexible enough. And of course, we do support like external feedback and external use cases. We practice Scrum with our own flavors and add-ons. And we are about 27 people right now, so that's a pretty big Scrum team. So how we share product manager role inside UTrack? Of course, we've got product owner, and in our case, that's the team lead. And the same thing, he shares the general product vision and has the main goals of the product. We have Scrum Master, and in our case, it's like the balance of forces, because she keeps track of the things that we want to introduce, our brilliant, fresh ideas, but at the same time, we have things to maintain, to polish, and to support. And she tries to keep the balance between these two directions of work. We have Subsystem Owners. They have local product vision and also have good ideas about what they want to do. And everyone participates in the product management in UTrack as well. We have one yearly planning. Normally we go for a multi-day retreat. We go somewhere outside the city and stay there for like 2-3 days. We have multiple sessions where we discuss the main directions of the product development for the next year. And the main idea here is actually to exchange ideas and to synchronize our vision. So we don't have a goal to create the ready backlog that we are going to follow during the whole year. So we just want to create the direction. So after this session, we create the backlog, which is the role plan for us, and we keep extending it during the whole year. We keep introduce new features and reorder prioritizations, and we're trying to keep the main focus on the directions that we agreed on, and split it with like nice small features that are required from the JetBrains team and external customers. So this way we keep our balance. We have normally like 2 weeks sprint, and before every sprint we have sprint planning. And here it's divided into 2 parts. We have general parts where everyone is presented, like the whole team, marketing, support engineers, technical writers. And that's the time when we discuss how to demo criteria and what we're going to do like from the business point of view. When we are done with that, the technical part starts. And here, guys, they just split the user stories into technical tasks and discuss like the actual implementation. At the end of every sprint, we have sprint demo. And I think that's the best thing about our Scrum, like honestly. Because sprint demo is just a great motivation for the presenter. That's like the glory moment for the developers. They show what they have done during just 2 weeks. And it's great. And for the whole team, it helps us to be aware of what's going on. Because remember, we don't have any other documentation or requirements or something. So that's just the product demos. And at the end of the sprint, of course, we have retrospective, and that's pretty standard. We discuss what went well and what went wrong. But in the edition, everyone has an option to suggest a small feature for the next sprint. So we vote, and after we discuss the winner and see if we can fit it into the next sprint or we are taking it to like one of the upcoming sprints. So that's the way we work in UTrack. So I've showed you like 2 completely different processes, but still imposing and showing these qualities that we were talking about in the beginning. And now I want to go to the next level and talk about the company values versus personal values, like whether it's connected, whether it's influenced or not, and like what we can do to share them. So when I start to think about these questions, I realized that I need some input, I need some opinions. So I went to our leaders and talked to them. And so when I came to our CEO and asked, like, what do you think about company culture? What it is and where does it come from? He was quiet for a while, and then he said that, you know, I've been asked about these questions like hundreds of times, and we had several attempts to actually formalize our values and our culture, to just write them on the document and share with everyone. But we realized that it just doesn't work. It's not something that we want to document and try to keep stable forever. We want them to grow, to develop. We want new people to introduce something new. So we don't want to, fix such things. So I realized that our company culture is just something that flies in the air. That's an atmosphere, and that's just the way we communicate with each other, we work, and that's just the way that things are at JetBrains. So that's it. And the next question was, like, does the company culture affect personal qualities and values of the employees, whether it's true or not? And that was a tough question as well, because we believe that the best way to share culture and values is just by personal example. So when a newcomer joins JetBrains, sometimes it's very easy to embrace the culture and the values, because we have a lot of student programs. So the students, they are young and fresh. They don't have any other experience. So they just come to JetBrains, and that's their first place of work. So they just welcome this new culture for them, and they're really comfortable with that. But sometimes we have people who join JetBrains with other experience. So they have different expectations. For example, sometimes the new employee comes and asks, like, what are the technical requirements? Where I can find my tasks? What do I need to do? And then we say that, like, oh, okay, we don't have any requirements, we don't have any documents, and well, you need to set up your tasks by yourself and then, manage them. And from the very first look, it might seem, unusual for newcomers, but after a while, normally they find it like really comfortably to work this way. So the next question that I had, that maybe we are looking for specific people with a predefined mindset, and then they just come, join JetBrains, and they organically, fall into our processes and our culture. And this is partially, it's true, of course, but there is one more thing behind this. We don't hire people just in JetBrains. We don't hire just Java developers. We always look for the person, for the specific team, and for the specific role. And as I already said, the teams at JetBrains are really, really different. So that's like the set of subcultures that organically coexist together. So we want to make sure that we're looking for the right person, for the right team, and for the right role. We want to make sure that people are actually interested in what they are doing. And that's something that helps us, to find the right people, at least as that we believe it. Well, does it sound like a paradise a little bit? Everyone is so free and so flexible and do what they want? No? No? Okay, great, because I want to talk about the dark side of this process. It does happen. Discipline and self-management and responsibility may be challenging. It's not always easy to get yourself together and do the best thing that you can, and from the other point to actually believe that that's the best solution that I found. Because there's always room for improvement, and sometimes we all think that, oh, okay, I could do better, I could find a better solution, I could invent the better slogan, I could have written a better text. I'm talking about myself. And yeah, sometimes it can be hard just to keep this self-assuredness about the work that we do all the time. I know that there are a lot of people, they use different ways to keep focus. For example, they use a special applications which says that like, okay, this 20 minutes you work on this task and then you need 5 minutes break and then you switch, and that helps them, you know, to be as productive as possible, at least helps them to believe that they are as productive as possible. Someone uses the meditation and yeah, that's, such things helps us. And of course, the routine may kill creativeness. That's the problem that happens when you are 18 years old and your products, some of your products are like 15 years old, someone even more mature. So yeah, it happens. And it may lead to, of course, the lack of excitement, the boredom, and the tiredness. It's like in the new romantic relationships, right? So in the very beginning, we're so excited, we're so passionate, and we have the shining eyes, and we want to spend 24 hours together. But after a while, this just, you know, goes lower and lower and lower. And it's not that bad. I mean, sometimes it may just lead to some strong and, you know, good relationships that can continue based on some other factors, not only passion, but sometimes it may just, you know, end, and that's it. We need to face it. So what can we do to help solving these problems? At least what we do at JetBrains. So every single employee may take the 20% side project, and that helps us to, you know, like get the refreshment and change the focus a little bit. Yeah, and it can be some new things to learn. It can be some new product to work on. So it can be anything, or just doing the talks. It's the way as well. We encourage people to switch the team, and it helps sometimes because, well, here is a new product and they need so much input, so I'm going to join them. I like it. That's a great idea. Okay, just go and do it. And we also encourage people to switch the roles. And it happens, and we think that is good. They are developing their qualities. For example, some of the developers may end up in the evangelism team or in marketing team or vice versa. And it happens, and we think that it's okay. And of course, we do hackathons. We have this tradition for, I don't know, 10 years already. Every year, we do a hackathon for like 2 days. And this year, our hackathon was just last week. And one of the projects was this application called Dobby. And that's the application for internal hiring. So it means that we all realize that this is the problem, and we need an even application, a product to solve it. So here, every team may create a vacancy and describe like what they need in their team. And it can be a 20% project or even full-time. And every employee can go and check what's going on in the other teams and find the project that they want to join. So yeah, and by the way, this project won the 3rd prize in the hackathon. So yeah, it shows that we believe that it's important. And the next topic I want to talk about is happiness at work. It's related to what we were just talking about, because this is the way to prevent these problems. So there was a research by the Warwick University engineers, and they found out that happy employees are 12% more effective. So let's make our employees more happy, right? What we can do about that? Sounds easy, right? So what we can do? We can increase the salaries, right? Good point. We can build better offices. We can introduce more benefits, and we can believe that it might help. But unfortunately, according to another study that was run in the early 70s and then in the beginning of the 21st century already, that says that after a certain level, income no longer correlates with the level of happiness. And it happens not on the very, very high level. No, even in the middle level, when you have like all your first need covered by your job, it's pretty hard to make you more happy using these material motivations. So what we can do in this case? There is a concept of meaningful life that is becoming a new mainstream, and that's something that is offered instead of this psychology of consumerism that we used to live in. And it says that, there is a book which name is The Power of Meaning. And it says that meaningful life comes from the connecting and contributing to something beyond yourself. So it's instead of chasing the happiness into the short term, we can be connected and find the meaning in something in the long term. And we can see that involvement, empathy, contribution, and finding a purpose makes us more happy in the long term. It's like with the volunteering work. Sometimes it doesn't bring a lot of joy and happiness when you do it, because it may be hard, just the hard work and no joy, but in the long term, that's something that you see a purpose. That's something that you find a meaning. And yeah, that makes us more happy. And as a bonus, we get a 12% more effective employees, which is good. So how to develop the Agile mindset? Just to summarize everything. First of all, we need to develop personal qualities, because we believe that everything is created around motivated individuals. So these are the professionalism, responsibility, self-management, creativity, involvement, and trust. The second thing, we need to build a shared vision. And it's important for the team to build a shared vision inside and to share the same goals when they develop a product. And it's also important for the company to transparently and clearly state their goals and their values. Sometimes we may think that, oh, it's not important. They are developers. They love writing code. They don't care about our business goals. But it's not true. Everyone wants to feel involved and wants to be connected to something bigger than just their own goals and values and tasks. So yeah, it's important. Involve the team into the product domain. You can say that, okay, it's easy for you to say because you're developers and you create products for developers. Oh, very easy. But we believe that it's important for other domains as well. Of course, you cannot get this, 100% understanding of some other, sometimes very, very complicated domains. But it's possible to at least understand the customers, understand their needs, and like what we are creating and how it's going to be used. And we need to create an environment that embraces the employees to absorb the culture of the company and the values. It's like raising the kids. You can tell them 100 times what is good and what is wrong, but it doesn't help. They will always follow your personal example. And remember that transformation always starts in our head, in our values and beliefs, and not in the processes that we follow as a team or as a company. Thank you.